Hello and welcome. So, in September, Accountancy Age proudly launched its inaugural edition of the Mid-Tier Power Index, a brand new ranking designed to highlight excellence in the accounting industry's mid-market. The MTPI seeks to go beyond typical financial metrics, with firms judged and ranked on a series of qualitative criteria rather than quantitative metrics alone, such as fee income. That being said, profitability and growth was taken into account as one of the 4 categories being assessed, with the entrants also judged on strategic planning, professional excellence, and people and community. This year, Cooper Parry secured the #1 spot on our MTPI ranking. And so today, I'm joined by Abi Bown, partner and chief growth officer at Cooper Parry, to discuss the firm's ambitious 3-year vision, why they're a firm that loves disruption, and how they are winning business from the big 4. Welcome, Abi, and thank you for sitting down to have a chat with me.
You're very welcome.
No worries. So obviously in Cooper Parry's application, which impressed all of our judges, including myself, the firm outlined its ambitious 3-year vision, which aims to achieve 5-fold growth for the practice in 5 years. It was something that set you apart from other entrants this year, and clearly Cooper Parry will hope that it sets itself apart from the competition in the market as well. Could you give me a brief overview of Cooper Parry's 3-year vision, if that's okay?
Sure. Yeah. Our vision is to build the next generation accountancy firm and to be the undisputed heavyweight in the mid-market space in the next 3 to 5 years. So what that really means is we want to do this by dominating the mid-market space, by continuing to hire the very best talent through strategic hires that can add to the specialisms that we have already. We want to continue to be and become internationally famous for our culture, becoming the very best place to work. And by one of the key principles of that is that we'll be adopting a 100-80-100 model, which means 100% productivity within 80% of the time, but for 100% of the salary. And then another key element of the vision is about continuing to outperform the market with our organic growth. We work hard on delivering an excellent client experience, and we have the very best Net Promoter Score in the industry, and we want to have the best Net Promoter Score in the country. And then finally, the final element of the vision is about scaling via M&A. So a small number of high quality, strategically and culturally aligned firms that can come together, integrate together under one powerful brand.
Excellent. So also moving on slightly, you stated in your MTPI entry that you love disruption as a firm and that you are, the rebels of accountancy. Can I ask why and what sets you apart from your rivals in both regards?
Sure. So we are entrepreneurial ourselves. We're an entrepreneurial, fast-growing business ourselves. And it's those kind of businesses within the mid-market that we love working with. Companies just like us who are facing some of the same growth challenges that we're facing. And that means that we have to do things differently and disrupt in order to achieve the goals and the very ambitious vision that we have as a firm. And we do that via our people-first culture. And we strongly believe that people-first culture means that we attract and retain the very best people, and that in turn, those people deliver the very best client experience. And it's that client experience that then differentiates us within the marketplace.
I mean, you've clearly been doing a good job of it, Abi, as Cooper Parry has seen double-digit growth across all service lines. Can I ask you which of those service lines is the fastest growing, which has had the most impact and kind of reverence with your client base?
So all of our service lines are growing quickly, and they're all in different markets and moving at different paces as a result. I would say our tech and high growth team that we set up about 2.5 years ago now, based out of Shoreditch in London, we had a couple of strategic hires into that space with awesome credentials in the tech sector. And since then, we've then partnered with that kind of tech ecosystem. So partnerships with TechNation, Crowdcube, Startup CFO, businesses and partnerships like that. That's meant that we're growing super fast in that area and quickly becoming the advisor of choice and kind of monopolizing that sector and that space. So that's a particularly fast growing service line for us.
And have there been any other kind of surprisingly successful sort of service areas for the firm? Obviously, you've mentioned technology. Have there been any others that have kind of broken out and broken the mold in that regard?
So the other area, I guess, would be our core kind of audit and tax advisory in our mid-market sector. In that area, we're moving fast. We're focused on the 50 to 200 million pound businesses, where, quite frankly, many of them are being underserviced by their current advisor. Many of those are Big Four or national advisors, and we can put forward a proposal to them that demonstrates our great people, our awesome credentials, the specialisms that we have that can service all of their needs, both in the audit and the tax advisory area. And the service and the client experience that we deliver to companies just like them in the mid-market, and where they're no longer the focus for some of the Big Four or nationals, they're realizing that they can get a great experience from working with a company like Cooper Parry. And so as a result, we're growing strongly in those areas too.
Excellent. So just basically looking after those mid-market businesses, basically, that, as you said, that are just being underserved at the moment.
Absolutely.
Finally, as well, last couple of questions. I mean, Cooper Parry also secured the top spot on the MTPI, but the firm has also made it onto the top 50 inspiring workplaces rankings this year, as well as making onto the Sunday Times 100 best companies to work for list for the 6th year in a row. So how has the firm created such a positive working environment for its team and everyone within the business?
It's great to get these awards, it really is, but it's been years and years of hard work and continues to be a constant process of making sure that we are building that people first culture that I mentioned earlier, and that we're building an environment, both a physical environment and a virtual environment that people love to work within. And that's a combination of looking at all various aspects of the employee experience. And just as I mentioned, our credentials and our client experience, we measure and we constantly monitor our employee experience as well, and look for ways of continually improving that to make sure that everybody can bring their very best to work and be their very best at work and play to their strengths. And that's the fundamental principles and values that we all work on. And as a result, by continually challenging ourselves and disrupting ourselves as well as the industry, and finding new ways of trying new things all the time, we can continue to keep pushing. And what's great is that means that we can win some great awards along the way as well.
Sure. It definitely stood out with our judging panel as well as one of kind of the key pillars, I think, in terms of your success, and one of the reasons why I think you kind of came out on top within the MTPI. My final question, obviously another theme that kind of came out at us from the applications this year for the MTPI was there are several entrants that, including Cooper Parry, who had said that they had grown in part by winning business from the Big Four firms. Can I ask, sort of, why do you think you are winning business from the Big Four firms, and how have you managed to do it?
Sure. I think it goes back to what I said a little bit earlier as well. It's our sweet spot, our focus, and the kind of businesses we love to work with are those mid-market firms. And as a result, we work with more mid-market firms, for example, in the Midlands, than anybody else. And that gives us a great list of credentials and testimonials and reference points of firms that have left the Big Four or the nationals and are now serviced by Cooper Parry and have never looked back. And I think that demonstrates that where companies are being underserviced or don't feel like their needs are being met, or they're as special or as important maybe to a Big Four or a national provider, where we can come in and demonstrate that these are exactly the kind of businesses we love to work with, and they're companies in many cases just like us, and we can service them not just from an audit perspective, but also with our tax advisory and other specialism services, and that just creates a really compelling proposition for businesses of that size.
Yeah, so just clearly laser focused at Cooper Parry on that underserved part of the market, right?
Absolutely, yeah, and that seems to be working well and being recognised. And it's, as I say, they're entrepreneurial, fast-growing businesses just like us, and that's our bread and butter. That's what we love.
Sure. Well, thank you so much, Abi. I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with me today. Sadly, though, that is all we have time for, but really appreciate you obviously joining to talk about the MTPI and what the future holds for Cooper Parry. For those eager to watch more video content or simply looking to access information on the latest emerging trends impacting the accountancy profession, please visit Accountancy Age online and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching, and until next time, goodbye.